Welcome to another episode. Today we are doing something different. We are going to look into a transmission which is about the inner child. Most of you have followed me for quite a while and raised that request for long, I know. I'm trying to cover those topics that are mostly wished for or that I know that people are still kind of needing and that is actually also in alignment with where I want to go with this channel. So we are doing this today. Get excited, get ready. And for those who don't know me yet, my name is Patricia. I'm a life coach and I've came to know a long time back that there is so much more to explore in the inner world, and I had to deal with a lot of turbulences inside of me, and I realized at one point this is not the way how I want to go further. And if I want to do life differently, I had to look into things that are totally unknown to me, that are unusual, maybe, that are not considered as, I don't know, first things I would do. I've came to conclusion that if something is going to help me, I will just try. And so this is what I'm also asking you to do is sometimes we just have to try before we think it's not going to work. You see, you have to experiencing it. You have to experience that your energy can change and you can actually live another life, but you have to feel it. You have to allow to feel it first. You have to allow yourself to get to that place. And so it's very hard sometimes for people who are saying, well, I don't believe in anything of that. And I'm like, well, you don't need to believe. You only need to be open to experience. That's it, right? You are not here with me to believe everything and not to be skeptic. For me, it's actually even more important that you are, because there are many people who may not be the one who you should work with because they are not sharing what you need or they don't have that. And so tuning into your intuition is great, but blocking it because it's unknown to you, that's something that I would highly recommend to question. And if that is only from fear or from a fear place, then you may look into that, okay? So, with that said, a little bit about the inner child. The inner child is always present, and the inner child is something that we actually have to work on if we want to change our life. Now, the inner child needs to be nourished, and we need to look into it from actually very different angles. What we are doing today is we are going to look into how it could possibly feel if we actually share a lot of love with our inner child and we learn to heal our inner child from an energy perspective. Okay? So if you have never really heard about the inner child, then there are other videos on my channel that you could do first. I believe there is only a few things that you really need to know, and you don't have to look hours of training materials on what is the inner child. Just allow yourself to feel and to receive. That's basically it. What the inner child is mainly is if you have beliefs or things that are actually hindering you. Most of the people are dealing with a lot of fear. They're afraid to step into their power, or they feel that they're not good enough. They feel that something is just always holding them back. And that is mostly your inner child who didn't receive the support that was once needed and is still actually kind of asking for help. And it's on you now to help that inner child to feel whole again. Okay, the whole experience here, or the whole experiment, I would say, is to feel love and share that love with your inner child. And so it's not really about just talking, it's about experiencing it and feeling the love and the protection that your inner child was looking for in the past and is still looking for. And so that's what you always feel. It's this kind of block that is not letting you pass that kind of almost like threshold, right? You try to make a change, you try to shift, but something is hindering you, something is holding you back, and it's not working. And you kind of feel like, I need to move on, but I can't. And you always end up being in the same situation, which is basically being frustrated about yourself, being frustrated to not be able to make a change. And so what happens is you stand in front of same life scenarios, right? Such as, I want to change my job, but then when I'm in the interview, I totally screw up. Like, I can't get past that. Something is really hindering me, and I have a lot of fear. And especially, I would say, with fear, with anger, has a lot to do with the inner child. Now, there's a lot of people who say or believe that, at one point you're done with this topic. I believe it's work that never really ends, because it's your inner child is here to show you how to play. It's very playful, very creative. We lose the creative part when we are getting adults, because there is so much things going on in our life, and we kind of push that down. And so that's exactly what your inner child has done in the past, right? When you were growing up, it pushed emotion down, like all the way down into your body. You see, it's stuck here in your belly. You can't see, but it's stuck there, and that energy is not going anywhere until you say, hey, I'm here. I will hold you. You're held. I will give you permission to be here. And I'm not going to push you anywhere, right? So, let's do this. Close your eyes and just feel comfortable. And try to be as open as somehow possible. By the way, when we end this call or this video, there is a woman's circle available at this moment. I know, men, I'm sorry, it's not for you. If you are someone who wants to experience something like this more often, then go on my website. There you actually find what we are going to work on in March. And there we are going to have a lot of these transmissions. So now this is not going to be the only video that is up there, but I'm going to say that this is rather limited in this way, okay? So if you're interested, have a look on my website, and then maybe, who knows, we see each other soon. So with this said, let's start. Get yourself comfortable, close your eyes, and let's get ready. Take a deep breath in. Move your body a little bit and allow yourself to relax. It's always good to get a little move touch your body so that you're present. It's very important, okay? Be here, be present as much as you can. And when a thought is coming in, then just allow it to pass, like a crowd in the sky who is just moving on. It's okay that they are there, but you don't need to be focused on those ones. Take a deep breath in, hold, and let go. Now let's drop in our heart. And if you can't really feel it, put your hand on it. Put your hand to your heart and allow yourself to open up. Feel this inner love like a rose that is opening up more and more and more. It's the understanding that your essence is love. It's the understanding that this is inside of you and it has never left you. It was always there, but you were not present to receive and feel that. You open up more and more and more, and you can feel that that love is just coming out. And you can start to sense it in your whole body, your arm, the other arm, your head, the belly, and on the legs. And while you open up and while you feel that love coming in, you open up to have a discussion with your inner child. So imagine that your inner child is right next to you or in front of you and looks to you, looks at you. She's excited to actually meet you and to finally talk to you. You start to feel that inner love. Towards her. She looks at you, or he looks at you and smiles. And you start to feel that you have never really talked to her. What would you say in that moment where she looks at you, all excited to hear and see you? What is it that you mostly would have loved to hear? Imagine that you are going to tell her, I'm here. I'm protecting you. You're safe. And my absolute favorite is I love you so much. And I love that you show me when something is wrong, when something feels off, and I'm grateful that you are telling me. Allow me to feel what you feel. Let me see and experience that fear that you're holding on to so tightly. What is it that you want to tell me with that? What is it that you need? What do you feel at this moment? Share that love that you have opened up before, more and more and more, and listen carefully. What do you hear? Is she happy? Is she still afraid? What I love to do when I'm in talk with my inner child is I love to give her a virtual hug. So I will hug her very, very tightly. And I tell her that I will take care and I will love her anyways, regardless of if she's in pain, if she's suffering, because I know together we are strong. I know together we are creative. And I know that she has so much power within to help me too. This is not a one-way, this is a two-way street. I need that inner child to create the life that I really want because she is very, very, very intuitive and knows exactly what makes me happy. Because maybe I lost a little bit of that playfulness. I lost that creativity, and I'm inviting her to come back and to stay present with me. I share the love with her more and more and more, and my heart is almost exploding just because I feel that she can feel the same. She feels loved, she feels protected and safe, and she knows when she's rising up and when she's actually sharing something that makes her excited, I will consider it to do it because I know it brings me joy too. I know that my inner child is so powerful and is so creative, and those parts were missing in my life for so long because I felt that that's not how an adult can be. An adult cannot be playful, cannot do things a child is doing. I made excuses to push myself down. And I understand that this is not the way I want to move forward. I want to honor my inner child. And I'm telling her that I'm honoring her. Give her another hug and start to see her in a light that is actually equal to who she really is. She is a star. That is here to guide me. Most of the time, not the other way around. And I'm here to protect her and to keep her safe. Because she's going to make us happy the way we need it. Now tell her that you are coming back and that you will keep showing up for yourself and for her. Try to open up to her more and make a promise to yourself that you will try to listen more, be more present to what is really going on in your belly, what is going on in your pelvic area, because that's actually where those emotions are mostly sitting in combination with your inner child. That's why it's so powerful. And fear is such a great opportunity for you. Most of the time we completely ignore and run away. But when we start to face it, when we start to move together into a direction that is new, that needs that playfulness, because we have no clue how it's going to look like. We need that inner child onboarded with us. And so we need to keep her as close to our heart as we can. And while we feel that love is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more and more and more, we start to smile. And we come back to the here and now. Realizing, like the sun here, everything can change. And just because life doesn't look always super sunny like here, doesn't mean that the sun is not there. It means that we have to make changes, and it means that sometimes we have to do things that may sound from the outside world very, very strange. But start to get more in contact with your inner world. Start to move more into the center and be present to that. It will allow you to make so many changes that you may have thought are impossible. I hope so much that this video has helped you in some ways. Leave me a comment, let me know below. And with this said, thank you so much with all of my heart. And I talk to you very, very soon. All right.